All right, so we are live, and I am so excited to be joined with Gretchen Jackson. She was one of the first persons, I don't know if that's the right word, that I was like, I need her as a keynote speaker because she speaks to so many of us, especially behind the cameras. We may seem like we're extroverts, but we're all so introverted. And so I'm so excited to have Gretchen here. And she is the first one here to talk about the speaker promo days and just meet your speakers before we go live in March. And so, Gretchen, tell us a little bit more about you and what you'll be talking on.
I'm married to my husband. We've been married for like 18 years. We've owned our business, Beyond Sound and Security, which is a local business here in Central Arkansas. We do sound systems and security systems. We saw a need for our community where we could mesh two types of businesses together. And so it makes us unique in our situation. We've been in business for 12 years. And then I'm also one of the founding members of Shifter, which is a mindset mastermind program for women by women to help you shift your mind to level up in business and life.
Yeah, so I love your story too of your business at home and just how it's you and your husband's business and how you got started. And it's always a funny story because you talk about how like you'd be sitting in bed and he'd be like, oh, Gretchen's not doing this, or they'd come to you and oh, he's not doing that. So do you want to share some more about that background with people?
Yeah, so for a long time it was just the two of us working in our business. And I think that we're an interracial couple in the Deep South. And so a lot of people didn't put together that we were a married couple that owned this business. And so they would call him to tell on me because I couldn't give them the appointment that they needed, or call me to tell on him or whatever. And one time we were laying in bed and the phone went off and I answer it and it's a lady and she's so angry about some misunderstanding is what it turned out to be. So she hung up on me to call Daniel, who's laying next to me, and he answers the phone and has a whole conversation with her. It's just been funny to like, people think I'm just this girl at the front desk sitting in a cubicle or whatever, and he's out doing all the things and assume he's the owner and I'm the secretary or whatever. So we've lately, probably 10 years into business, we did a big ribbon cutting and kind of came out as a couple because we kind of kept that in the background just because, first of all, it doesn't define who we are, but also we did worry being in business in Arkansas that people wouldn't want to do business with us if they knew we were married. And then we just decided after doing all this mindset work that we were worth it. And if they weren't for us, then they were not for us. And so we had a big ribbon cutting and it was all over social media and tons of people came. And so we don't really have that kind of mix up anymore.
Well, that's awesome. And that kind of leads us into mindset. So you are speaking on Mindset Day. So tell us kind of how you bridged from, working on this, brick and mortar with your husband to creating Shifter and how the mindset really played into that for you.
A few years ago, I got a free Audible download of Jen Sincero's You're a Badass at Making Money. Mm-hmm. And I listened to it. It was free. I just thought, I'm just going to listen to it, have a car ride. And it was literally the first time I had heard someone tell me I could be rich, even though it was coming from my radio. And I thought personal development was like Tony Robbins screaming through the infomercials and people walking on fire, all of those crazy things, and just a gimmick to get you to buy because I'd never experienced it before. But after reading this book, I went down this huge rabbit hole, like all the things. What else? She mentions a couple of books that she had read, so I decided to read those. I come home and I'm saying all the things to my husband, and he thinks I'm crazy and I've lost my mind, and my kids too. And I decided that maybe I could get a group of women together. In fact, they were from my networking group, which we'll get into in a minute, but where we could get together and like maybe read a book and kind of download together and not really talk about that we were meeting, but like, so everybody thought we were so crazy outside of this. So it gave us a place to be together and kind of go through the mindset stuff and, say these big dreams that we have that you can't really say to your everyday people. A lot of it scares friends and family because they want to keep you safe. And so we wanted a place where we could, just kind of be in community together and go through it together. And as we were doing it, people around us noticed that we were changing, and we weren't like putting a picture of ourselves on social media. Hey, it's my mastermind group. We really didn't even have a name for it. But people were asking how they could get into it. And so we decided we would do like 3 beta tests. Well, we decided we would do 1 beta testing group, but we got so much interest, we had 3. And we created a curriculum based on what we had learned. And they were fantastic. They loved it. They learned, and then more people wanted in. And now we're a year and a half in. We have over 175 members in our mastermind groups, in our big community at large. It's just been really beautiful. And one of the things that with my mindset that I've learned is that I always thought I wasn't a girl's girl. Like I just seemed like the pettiness and the bitching about your family all the time. Like, not that I haven't done that. It just feels like that's what women do when they get together. But in this situation, we had this agenda, and you keep the main thing, and all of that. And it was so fun. It's so fun to see our people leave their corporate job, go chase a dream, or figure out they have a dream, or just figure out that they're worth it. Mm-hmm. I love it when women do that. And I don't feel jealous of it. I don't feel any of those things. And so we're real big on collaboration over competition. What ideas can your mastermind group help you with that you haven't seen yet? It's just so great. It's been really great.
No, that's awesome. I love hearing that because I think I was in a very similar situation as you are. I heard all the Tony Robbins and I'm like, that's not me. Like the screaming at me. And I even tried to watch his documentary on Netflix and I was just like, no. But the same thing happened. I got in a book club where they were reading a Rachel Hollis book at the time. Mm-hmm. And that escalated into all these self-help books and going from there. And I love the whole idea of Shifter. And the more I've learned about it now, just here, I'm like, man, I wish I would have lived in Arkansas. We'd probably be best friends if we lived over there.
And you don't have to. We have people across all the states. Like it started with our little people. The beta groups were actually people that we pointed to that we knew were trying to grow, and we're networking and with the people and doing all the things. And so that's where we got our people. But now it's, I went to the Rise Business Conference last year. We'd never been to a business conference. That's a mindset thing. Like we were afraid to go. We thought it would be corny, whatever. So we went to the Rise Business Conference and I made all these connections, and now some of those people are our members. So it's all over. We would love for it to be worldwide. We started a podcast. We just want to reach as many women as we can.
Well, that's awesome. And that kind of leads us definitely into networking, which is what Gretchen will be talking on. She'll be talking about how to network with people when you hate networking, or is it when you hate people? I think you hate networking.
Well, it's networking for people who hate people. But I just want to say, I don't hate people. I hate peopling. Like I'm an introvert and it's exhausting to me. Even after this interview, which I'm so thankful for Zoom. I'm so thankful for all the resources where I don't have to go stand up in front of a big room right now. But I would walk in and just be so scared and then need a nap afterward. Like I just can be on for a minute and then need a nap. But networking is essential in building a business. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. You have to network. You cannot, we talk a lot about manifestation and stuff like that, but you still have to take the action. And one of the best ways to get the word out about your business is networking. And so a friend of mine, she's actually a client of mine too, she is a real estate agent. And a lot of times networking groups will, when you join, they cancel out, like you get your spot and nobody else can join.
Yeah.
Right. So she couldn't find a group. And so she started her own and she asked me to do it with her. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds dreadful. But she's a client of mine. I can do it for a year, whatever. It'll be a small group because she was just asking specific people. It was not a small group. It grew to like 30 really fast.
Yeah.
What I realized is that I had been holding myself back in my local business. Nobody knew who we were except word of mouth, which is the best kind of referral. But you get with these people when you're networking and everybody is trying to send you referrals. We made a ton of money through referrals, all of that stuff. But if you don't walk in the room, they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to take the first step, know your personality. I love that you're so into personality types because I am too. I like to diagnose everybody I meet with their Enneagram. But what you learn to know about yourself is like, I am an introvert, even though people are surprised by that. And I know that when I'm going to be overwhelmed, so I can prepare myself. You're going to be overwhelmed, but you're also not going to die. You can go in and say the things, and people want to help you. People love, especially for small businesses, to succeed. And so, but you have to get in the room. And if you sit at your desk and you're making cold calls, which is dreadful, you're not going to get the kind of response you're going to get when you go educate other business owners or other people about what you can do, even for them. I find that I walk into the room and every single time someone's like, oh my gosh, I need you. I would like to upgrade my security system. Or, oh my gosh, we have a TV to hang on the wall. Well, what if I hadn't gone that day? Like, they wouldn't know that I exist. So most of it's getting over yourself. It's super hard, but it's true. Like, you have to get over the fact that you're going to have to talk out loud, practice it in your car. You know, like it's helped me with public speaking. It's helped me make friendships. The people I'm in Shifter with and business with started from networking groups. If I hadn't gone, I wouldn't have met them. You know, there's all kinds of people in the room, and a lot of business owners are introverts and a lot of salespeople are introverts because they don't want to be under other people. They want to plan their day on their own. They don't want to be told where to go. They don't want to have to go to all the meetings. They want it on their terms. And so most of the time when you walk into a networking situation, you're walking into people just like that.
Definitely. Yeah. I know I finally jumped in and joined 2 masterminds this year. And one of them, just like you talked about, that exclusivity. And I've actually tried to join it since 2019. Like every year, I was like, can I join? They're like, nope, someone has your spot. Dang. And finally this year, so I'm not even going in there as a marketer. I'm going in there as a podcast person just so I could get in.
So you can get in. Yeah.
Because I knew it was like being able to network with people is just so crucial to everything we do. And I know the one time I went there, I just mentioned it and everybody was like, oh my goodness, I need to talk to you. And so exactly what you said, Gretchen, where you just have to get out there. You have to say who you are and what you are, as much as it sucks. And even in the virtual world, like I love doing one-on-one interviews, but in a group of Zoom people, like I'm typically the quietest one because I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like how to do that. So I'm so excited for your session on March 2nd, or no, wait, I did put February in there. So it's March 2nd at 4:15. So let me fix that before I make a banner. So if you want to learn from Gretchen, and she actually is writing a book, almost has it out, to tell you this as well, how to network with people when you hate people or peopling. Join us at the summit on March 2nd at 4:15. I'm so excited because you're going to talk right before we go into networking sessions, which is like how I like stack that purposely. Because I was like, she needs to be there to help us figure out how to talk to people so that we can go and we can talk to people. And I love the personality test too. I'm personally a strengths person. I'm still even learning what Enneagram, all those numbers even mean. I'm an 8, but it's all the more I know about it. But I'm still looking for a 5. I have not met an Enneagram 5. Do you know
my son is a 5 and he is a 5. Like everything that he does, I'm like, yep, that's it's to a T. And he works for a marketing company and he does social media marketing and he works from home and he likes the autonomy of it. Like he's very analytical. He steps back from every situation. He's like textbook 5. I'm a 6. And so I'm the loyalist. So if you're mad at somebody, I'm mad at them too. If you think you're right, then I know you're right, and I'm going to have your back.
Yeah, I know I read 8, but I can't remember what it was. I know when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, that's me.
I think it's the challenger.
Oh yeah, that's me.
So my 15-year-old son is an 8, and he is a challenger. Like he's got that too. He wants to know why, and maybe I can do it better, and like just all the answers. But it's nice to know that about people. Really, like when you are going to a networking group or something like that, and knowing that about yourself before you go in, like I'm reacting because I feel this way. I'm reacting because I'm the loyalist, and I feel like they're asking too many questions about my business. Like, you know.
So do you think? So one question for the summit, when we get into networking groups, so we have all the speakers have all their information on them if they've taken them. Do you think people network better when they're with people like them? So all the 8s together, or do you think it's better when they're mixed?
I think it's better when they're mixed.
Okay.
I think that way because I think it's helpful for the different views. I feel like if I'm in a group of all the 6s, not that we're the same person, but the way that we view things is so similar sometimes that it's hard to see outside of that. So like if I'm with you in a group and you're the challenger, maybe you're going to ask some questions that I just assumed are true. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like I'm going to get defensive and protect my loyalty, but you're going to be able to say, wait a minute, did we really think about that? And did we look through all of that? And I feel like it's better when it's different.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have you speak and let people know how they can reach you before the summit and after the summit.
Okay. GretchenJackson.com. You can reach me through there. You can also check out our Facebook group for Shifter. It's public and it's like just a community for high vibes and questions and answers. It's called Align and Shine with Shifter, and also at shifter.co.
Shifter.co. And I was trying to grab the Facebook group right before. I didn't have that one written down, but it's going to come in here just without proper capitalization, so we can have it on there. Alive and Shine with Shift Her, not Shifter.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry. It auto-corrected it all for me. But also reach out to them at shifter.co and then GretchenJackson.com.
Yep.
And if you have not got your ticket yet, tickets are free. So you can watch Gretchen speak and teach you how to talk to people and network with people for free at zigzagvirtual.com. I'm so excited to hear you talk and have you with us. And, this is one of many. I can see us working together long-term on different
I'm so excited too. I love to talk about it.
Awesome. Well, anything else before we let them all go?
Nope. Get your tickets.
Yeah. Get your tickets, zigzagvirtual.com. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.